Greetings. I'm just like, all right. I am chilling Indian style in my bed. And so I might pull some cards because I got my Ancestral Path Tarot deck out and have a clarifying tarot deck that I have out. So coming at y'all with a message. Okay. So whenever y'all hear the message, it could be for you, it may not be for you. I didn't realize that it was so late here. It's almost 9 o'clock, but I forgot that the days are longer. So, or the nights are longer. So I didn't know that it was this late. It's almost 9 p.m. here. So yeah, I wanted to just deliver a message for you guys, and it's a lot going on in the world. I mean, when is it not? But it's just, it feels like something's about to, like, just we're on the cusp of some type of big energy. It's just a lot going on, planetary wise, earth wise, collectively, people wise. It's just a lot of energy, and I contemplated on whether or not I wanted to excuse me, go live in regards to other things and another message, but I feel like it will still apply. Now, I don't really feel like it requires me to pull cards. However, I might, because I have them out, so why not? Um, but yeah, I was having a conversation this morning with one of my good sisters, and she was talking about how, like, the ocean, like the whales, they're reacting in a way. Um, it's a lot going on in the sky. It's a lot going on below, under surface. And y'all know I say all the time, animals are messengers. I mean, everything in this planet technically withholds a message of some sort, or holds a message. Um, but these sea creatures, they're reacting to things, and fishes being, what is it, like, I can't remember how many fish she was telling me. I think 12,000 fish washed up on the shore, which is really strange. It just seems like a lot of biblical prophecy type things going on, and like so-called UFOs and stuff like that being sighted, and it's just a lot of stuff, right? And as a woman, I don't mean to be too personal, but we're all adults. If you're a woman, periods are a thing, right? Whether you have a normal or you have a irregular, like, right? And my period this month was extra intense, and my body was like doing a lot of weird shit that it shouldn't be doing. Well, at least in my opinion, like, it was just really weird sensations and clearing. And I feel like as we relate to the moon, sometimes our cycles catch up to like the new moons or the full moons. It also resonates with earth energy, like mama earth energy, and the pressure and all of that. It's so much stuff going on. Um, and I just feel like collectively, I need to say this, that why it's so important. Greetings. Why it's so important for us to heal and heal ourselves is because when we do that, we heal the world, essentially. And the world really needs, I was about to say the world needs love, but that sounds so corny, but it's true. Who sings that song, by the way? It's an old song. It really does. And the message that I wanted to share earlier, I know I'd be going all over the place. I'm trying to like bring it home, make it make sense. But the message that I wanted to relay earlier was really about you have to be okay with letting go of things, whether people, places, or things that you've outgrown, or just things that you're kind of like, I'm seeing a seesaw in my mind's eye where it's this up and down thing. As much as it hurts to let go of the things that you're used to or comfortable with, and oftentimes it's not so much because you genuinely benefit or you even really like some of these things, or a part of you may know that it's not for you, but you hang around because it's a safe space for you. And I always use this metaphor that when you're outgrowing something, it's going to start to become uncomfortable. Just like a shoe, right? You can't wear the same shoe forever, or shoe size as you're growing older, right? As a child into a teenager into an adult, your shoe size changes, right? So you're not going to be able to fit into the same shoe, the same energy, the same spaces. It's going to start to become uncomfortable to where you're almost like being pushed out of it. And this is the thing that we don't understand about healing. Some of us do, some of us don't. Where we think that healing is this thing that is easy and it's sweet and it doesn't shake you up. It doesn't make you uncomfortable. That's far from it. Healing doesn't always have to be a hard task though. It can provoke you into change. It can provoke you into being passionate about something, jump starting your life or jump starting a journey. But it's not always going to be this sweet, light and fluffy thing. It hardly ever is. Some people might even say that, oh well, on the opposite of that, it is this long drawn out painful thing. And sometimes healing just really starts with you initiating and starting something, or just dedicating yourself to change, dedicating yourself to your joy, your happiness, or to show up for yourself. Or if you have kids, show up for your kids, show up for your family, right? We don't have time to play games with blaming other people, blaming ourselves. The difference between real spiritual warriors versus those that play like they are is you must take accountability for yourself always. Not one person that is listening or will listen to this that has not gone through something where someone has hurt them, has offended them, has betrayed them, has abandoned them, has rejected them. Not one human being on this planet has not experienced those things. Or if you're, you have it, at some point you will experience these things. It's a part of life. But you don't walk around with your head down and blaming the world for that. And I had to tell a family member this because they have their trauma, and I completely empathize and understand because we went through the same trauma by the same person growing up. But there's a way to address the issue without carrying it and making you bitter. You're never going to be happy if you constantly find reasons to complain, blame, and shame others and yourself. You're never going to be happy. Never. You're never going to be happy. And one thing to understand is that you are not going to make everybody happy. It's not your job to make people, or at least be the responsibility of making someone else happy. Their happiness is their own inside job. Sometimes we carry the weight of living for other people in an unhealthy sense, where we give up too much. We self-sacrifice in a way that is not healthy. It's almost like a dependency thing where, how do I explain this? Because one of my other sisters, we had this conversation where it was really being present to be your full authentic self and not worrying about what people say about you. And you have to break that yoke because it does start with the people that you love the most, and then it starts with what the world thinks or what the world says. And you don't know everybody in the world. Not everybody in the world knows you. And even if you did, so what? Your life isn't dependent upon spectators and what they think and how they feel and what they want. The human mind changes its thought patterns, its beliefs often, mood switch often, feelings and emotions sway and flow here and there. So you can't live your life dependent upon another human being's expectations or perceptions of you. It's foolish. And it keeps you from living your authentic truth. How the how the enemy, as I call it, dark energies, dark forces, or people that have negative energy, their job is to keep you in constant limbo with yourself. Just much like negative thoughts that we have, it keeps you in a limbo state. It keeps you in stagnation. It keeps you in fear. This world is full of people that some are happy, some people are confident, some people are not, some people are in fear, some people are hateful, some people are loving, some people are motivators, some people are just bystanders. And your purpose and your calling is different from the next person. How you live your life should not be dependent upon a person that did not birth you, did not create you. And even if it was the person that birthed you and helped create you physically in this physical realm, they don't fully know your story, your path, the in and the out of it, and the purpose of it. It's not for them to decide your fate. You can't live up to their expectations. And I know that's hard to hear because, oh, that's my parents, and I got to do this, I got to do that. But in hindsight, it's not their call. It's not their call. And this is one thing to remember, like, whoever needs to hear this, that whenever you doubt yourself or you say, oh, I can't do that, and it could be something as simple as wearing what you want to wear. And I don't condone inappropriate clothes. You know, some stuff is just like, what the fuck is you wearing? Like, you should not be wearing that in public. Like, there's kids, okay? I don't know what you got on, but you need to, you know what I mean? But certain things people will tell themselves, oh, that's crazy. If I dance in public, people are going to make fun of me. Like, so the fuck what? Who cares, right? People that have always have something to say about you or all up in your business, telling you how you should live your life, and in a sense of like, oh, I don't think you should do that because that's not going to work out, or oh, you're this, you're that, or I remember when you used to be a stripper or whatever, something crazy, right? Like, okay, that's in the past though. This is now. This is what I'm doing now. And the thing is about this energy, like this sway, because I used to deal with this a lot. And I was just sitting with myself today, sitting with just kind of reflecting on some things. And I had this revelation. And I know this, and I'm sure like we all know this, that essentially like nobody can dictate your worth or your value. And you got to remember yourself in that regard. Like, my true identity and who I am and who I was called to be was predetermined before I even became this physical vessel. So what you think about me and what you say about me doesn't really hold any weight because you didn't give me that worth or that value. You can't take it away from me. The anointing still stands, my gifts, my talents, my purpose, my divine identity still stands, and you can't take that away from me. You know what I mean? Some people can come in and shake it up and make you question it, make you doubt it, but they can never give it to you nor take it away. They can't give you your gifts or your talents. They can't give you the anointing, the blessings. They can't dictate that, nor can they take it away from you. That still stands. I am that I am. You can't take that. So you got to stand in that. Like, who the fuck are you? Like, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a millionaire. I don't care if you on TV. I don't care if you're somebody down the street, a fucking troll online. You don't dictate my worth and my value, no matter what you do, no matter what you say or what you think. So going back to the healing, if you think about it, like if you look at the word earth, scrambled up and jumbled up, you can find the word heart in that, in earth. Earth is heart-centered, base, heart chakra. If it was a chakra point, I would say Earth would be the heart chakra. And a lot of people's hearts are sick. A lot of people's hopes are deferred. Um, a lot of people's hearts are hardened and blocked. Which is why I do believe that sometimes Mother Earth shakes things up in a way with catastrophic events, and it's her way of purging of the heart. And if you pay attention to your physical self, your physical body, your mind, your heart, your spirit, you'll notice that your energy aligns with things going on. You'll notice that even if you're a man or a woman, like I said, women, we could feel, resonation with the moon, with our menstrual cycles, and even with our, like with Earth, Mama Earth, when she's going through her whole thing, where she's purging the tornadoes, the storms, and all of that. But even just anybody, if you're collectively tapped in, if you're heart centered tapped in, you'll sense all of these things within yourself. You might be overly emotional. You could be angry and upset and maybe not even know why. Could be something going on in China and you could be in England and feel that within yourself. Why the world needs what we so-called healers and light workers and shadow workers is because where the state of the planet is, and I know it's probably how I'm explaining it is not really that clear, it doesn't really make that much sense probably. I'm trying my best to convey it in a way that makes sense, but this world needs you. It does. You can't be withheld. Like, you have to know, like, even if you don't fully know what your purpose is in this life, there's something inside of you that still keeps going and still keeps living. And at times, and I say the greater the calling and the purpose, the harder the attacks. Sometimes you might be alone. Sometimes you might be misunderstood in good intent, with your good intentions. I'm not talking about people that are scum of the earth and treat people like dirt, and that's not an excuse. See, this is my thing. That's weakness. That's pussy coward behavior. That's bitch ass behavior, where you go around spilling your wounds and pouring out your wounds on everybody else. That's pussy behavior. That is not powerful. That is not justice serving. What is powerful is doing your healing work for you, and also take into account that, yeah, I've been hurt. This person hurt me. That person hurt me. I didn't like how that felt. But I'm going to empower myself to heal and overcome that. I take my power back from the wound. Not dwelling in it and blaming everybody else. And I'm mad at you. I hate you so much right now. Khalees version. You know what I mean? No. You have to do the soul work on yourself. Again, you're never going to be whole and never be happy within yourself if you don't continue to check in with yourself and your wellness. It's not to say that you're going to be this perfect being on this planet. That's not the point. The vibration of the planet and the state of the planet is because it's sick and needs to be purged. It's sick. Your healing heals the world. And what I mean by that is, like, it's a, what's the right word? It's like an electricity. Like, you spark. When you do the work, it kind of electrifies, if that's even the right word, or it sparks the next person, and so on and so forth. It inspires people that really, they need to see that. The world needs to see that change, that other side of life. And it always is going to look like, during the good fight, it's always going to look like the enemy's winning. It always will. It will look like that every time. And that's where the glory of, whether you want to call it God, source energy, the universe comes in, or love prevails, light prevails. That good fight where it looks like the hero is about to lose against the enemy. Because in the end, like, the one that looks like the weaker vessel is failing, they get amped up all of a sudden. They get that charge because I don't know if this is making sense, but how I'm seeing it is like you feel like you're being defeated and you're weakened by that. Then there's like this superpower, super saiyan strength that comes over you, that taps into you, that helps you prevail and to fight the good fight and win in the end. That's God's source energy inside of you. That's heart and soul inside of you. It's not just the physical being, like within your own strength. Because like, you're a spiritual vessel first. Your physical being cannot fully comprehend nor handle all of these things going on. So when you're soul led, soul driven, soul fed, and solely tapped in, your gateway, your soul center, your heart center is unlocked. And you're powerful, but it's not just coming from your physical vessel. It's a spiritual thing. Darkness does not operate in soul energy. They have no soul. They have no light. So they have to feed off of light. That's why I say, like, certain people, you can't be around certain people. You can't do certain things. You may not be able to eat certain things, watch certain things, because they're not light. They're not filled with heart chakra centered energy. They're not centered with soul. So it takes your soul, it takes your time, it takes your energy, it sucks you. Anybody that has to be negative, be evil, be combative, be chaotic, just negative energy, they're weak. It's weak energy. It will suck the light out of you. It will suck the very life and light out of you, or at least try to. When the enemy provokes you, kind of look at it as this thing, or when I say enemy, it could be, dark energies, negative energies, whatever you want to call it. If you're spiritual based, spirituality, call it negative energies or low vibrations. If you're Christian or any other, probably other religion, you would probably call it a spirit. Dark spirits, dark entities, demonic energy, right? Anything with that low vibrational spirit around it is weak. It comes around to mock you and provoke you, to disarm you, disencourage you, because it feeds, it needs your energy, it needs that light to be diminished. Yeah, I know y'all used to me talking about love and relationships, but love and relationships is not just romantic. It's not just romantic. Everybody needs to experience true, authentic, heart-centered love beyond romantic love. And some of us only have the capacity, not even the whole capacity, to love ourselves. So it's kind of hard to say, like, yeah, you're ready for love and you want to love another person or be able to love a child or family member or friends. And some of us, that's all we have. But when it comes to humanity, truly loving humanity, I know that's a hard concept because humanity, is kind of fucked up. But during COVID, I noticed that it was like two different energies. It was people that were scared to be around other people and would separate themselves, and I feel like that was by design. A sickness in sickness on the planet, not just a physical sickness, but a spiritual sickness. But on the other side of it, because there's always a light and there's always a dark side. On the light side of it, I noticed people had to use eye contact, obviously, because we had to wear masks, and people were more interactive because they had no choice. And when you interact with your eyes, it's the windows, as they say, right? Eyes are the windows to the soul. So I noticed that kind of helped some people have to interact and have to look you in the eye in order to communicate, because you can't look at another person's mouth. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people look at your mouth and they're not looking you in the eye, and it's like a sign of nervousness or maybe just a fear of intimacy on a deeper level. So humanity doesn't even acknowledge each other in a way that is loving, or that is considerate, or that is courteous. Not really, not so much. Definitely not in America. I can't speak for every place in America nor in the world, but seems like that that loving energy just isn't there. Where kids are disregarded, where elderly people are disregarded, women, it's not the same. People don't really smile at each other. They don't, you might find some of those hidden gems out there that will still speak to people, will open doors, will smile, be kind. um but this world does need love. So just holding a space and capacity to love just in a romantic sense is not really loving, in my opinion. Or only holding space to love family and friends, but you don't know how to love humanity. That doesn't really make sense. And then to go even further than that, the planet that you live on. What was I going to say? Something about the whales, too. Something about the whales. Oh, I know what I was going to say. There was a reason why I kept picking up in like ancestral videos, and I think it might have been like a couple of videos outside of that, where I kept getting, if you're guided to go to the ocean, there's a reason. There's some type of work that you probably need to do. Some type of work. Um, yeah, some of you guys, there'll be different types of work. If you deal with elements and things like that, if you're called to the water, it doesn't have to just be the ocean. Could be a creek, could be anything, a lake. Some of you guys, it's something with the air. I do feel if you have the ability to tap in, and I would say like some of you guys it's indigenous roots that make you kind of do these things, or led to do them. So let's say, for instance, you're just guided to work with the element of water, or even, let's say, air, clearing or purifying the air. It could be something, some type of ritual, some type of prayer, something that you're guided to do. And I feel like you're divinely instructed to do it. It's not just something that just comes out of thin air. It's something that you're going to be divinely instructed. And it's something about the birds as well. Birds are very significant. They come up a lot in readings and in my readings. And some of you guys may resonate with different types of birds. Birds are dwellers of the air, right? They have to dwell in the air for the most part. That can also speak of, too, like, especially the big birds, or any bird, because they're messengers. Speak of the type of, you're a messenger, and the type of messages that you're going to share. And this could very well be things that you're going to be instructed to say and tell other people, and maybe even instruct someone around you. Like, let's say, for instance, I'm being guided to tell you that you need to do this type of work. And I feel like it's more based on helping the planet type of work, more so. Um, I remember this dream that I had, and I think I shared it in a video maybe a couple months ago. I had a dream that, if I had to describe it, it felt like I was an actual bird, like, because I could see over the city. It was a city that I was looking at, and the city looked like it was on fire. Like, it was completely smoky. It was completely fire, like a bright orange, not red. It was like a fiery orange smoke. And I remember, like, kind of feeling like I was flying, because you can have dreams where you're flying, but I felt like I was a bird. I didn't feel like a human that was flying. It felt like I was a bird, and I was trying to flap my wings away from the scene because it was like terrifying. And I could feel myself jolting in my sleep, like trying to wake myself up because it was like freaking me the fuck out. And I had a book that I was carrying with me, and it had an American flag on it. I can't remember what else. I don't remember what else it said, but I remember it was a book and it had an American flag on it. And I was freaking out trying to get away from the destruction of the city. And I don't know what this is, but I just felt led to share it. Um, I was taken to another place, and it was kind of like this greenery. It was like a little small neighborhood, and it was two people greeting me at the door to let me into safety. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I do feel like there's something big that might happen here in America. I don't know what that is, and it may not be a catastrophic thing such as fire and all of that in the city. It could be a metaphor for something that is going to need to be dismantled and torn down in a way that may shake things up for people in a way that they might be in fear. I don't know exactly what that is. But I do know this, that it's because the dream ended with me being in a safe place and being escorted into like a safe haven, that whatever is happening or whatever goes down, that you will be safe. I don't know what that is. I can't say because I don't really know. I do know, however, that that was a prophecy. It wasn't just a crazy like dream that I had. It was something to it. But answer your call. Like, a lot of people are being called to step into their path, and it's not so much about the money. It's not about recognition. It's not about who's smarter, who knows more, and all of this. It's all about your heart. It's all about your intentions and showing up. But you have to know what you bring to the table. You have to know what you've been called to, what your gift is, what you've been anointed in doing. And it's not about looking to the right or looking to the left like, oh, this person is doing this and this person is doing that, or they have this and they have that. You have to worry about what you have. And don't let anybody else take that away from you or have you discount it or question it or doubt it either. Nobody, like I said, no one can strip you of your true divine identity, your anointing, your gifts, your talents, your purpose. No one can take it nor give it away from. They can't. They don't have the power to do that. No person on this planet has the ability or power to do that. So remind yourself of that and remember that and stand 10 toes down in that. Period. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your mom. I don't care if it's your dad. I don't care if it's grandma. Whoever. They can talk about you like a dirty dog, but your identity, your true divine identity, cannot be stripped nor given to you from any other human being. They don't dictate that. They don't have the power to do that. Your creator does. Your creator knows your story from the beginning, front, back, thoroughly. The printing paper, the ink that was used to create you, like everything about your life, your creator knows. No human on this planet has the ability or say so to dictate who you are and who you're not. They can't. They can't take it. They can't give it. So know that and stand in that and answer the call. And purpose doesn't always have to be this grand, like, scale, big thing. It doesn't have to be that in order to be significant. Humans need to be glorified all the time. They gotta have status. They gotta, have big numbers and big views. And that does not equate true significance and weight and power. It just doesn't. That's an illusion. significance, power, and weight is based off of what you bring to the table, not so much about how and the quantity. It's the quality of a thing. Period. Quality of a thing. Like, I only got one motherfucking view, and I don't even know who. It could be a good thing, or it could be a negative, but either way it goes, I know this message holds weight though. So whoever will see it, they're gonna see it when it's time. Whoever's meant to get the message is gonna see it. So it's not about how many views and 200,000 views, because maybe half of those views are just people that ain't gonna apply the message. It doesn't mean anything to them, or they're just there to be nosy, or they're bored. Just, you know what I mean? I would rather have a select few of those that really want to hear the message versus a majority of people that's probably just like on here just listening just because. But only if it applies. Like, if it doesn't resonate with your spirit, like, don't just take anything if it doesn't make sense to you. Like, I don't expect everybody to resonate with what I'm saying, you know. We all have different perspectives. We all have different experiences in life. We're all at different places in our journey and different levels of vibration. So some things might not resonate. You know what I mean? That's just, it is what it is. But the world needs you. Your healing does mean the world because it's helping the world. You might think it's just like little old you doing some work and working on yourself and bettering yourself, but you're bettering yourself for the world around you, whether you know it or not. Because how you move in this planet, how you interact with people in your world, that is a ripple effect, whether you know that, whether they know that. Just like negativity has a ripple effect on the world. It just depends on where your energy is, where your vibration, where your heart is. Earth is sick and tired of us. The heart chakra is sick. The planet, the collective heart chakra is sick. Yes, there's those of us that's taking the medicine, doing right, doing what we need to do with our healing and trying to take care of this heart as best as we can. But we got a lot of work to do out here. Like, you know, like, we got to get it together. For real. So I have a treat. For those of you that listen this far, here's the reading. Because some people probably click the fuck off. And it ain't for them. You know, that's just what it is. It's not for them. That is A-okay. A-okay. Yeah. I'm hearing that Nas and Lauryn Hill song, If I Rule the World. See, that's... let me look at the lyrics real quick. Let me look at that. Because those that are in rulership, they're ruling from their lower self. They're ruling from their ego. And some of them are taking leadership and charge and or rather than taking orders from a higher power source, God, that's got some sense and from the heart. Okay. If I rule the world, I free all my sons. I love them. Black diamonds and pearls. So this is talking about, like, just this part alone. I'm not going to get all into Nas's part, but I freed all my sons. Free. Freedom energy. Not oppression. This world is full of oppressive energy. Controlled. Stop. I had to let Nova out. She You be doing the most. But yeah, this world is like full of oppression, from jails, the prison system, to um, all these laws, rules, and regulations, which there's no freedom. You gotta have this, you gotta have that. You don't even own water. You don't have freedom to water. You gotta pay water bills. You gotta pay this. You gotta pay that. You gotta pay for healthcare. In some countries, you don't. But it's just a lot of controlled energy. And then the other part that always stood out to me is it's like towards the end, we'll walk right up to the sun hand in hand. That is humanity. That's, like I was speaking of, that love. You like that space to love just for yourself or a romantic partner or your family, your friends, or whatever. You don't have love for humanity. Not saying that all people don't, but the concept of that is not really there. There's too much fear. There's a lot of people that live in fear. A lot of people that live in this space of hate. What I do appreciate about this collective and this generation that we're in now is that people are becoming consciously aware of themselves and aware of the world around them. People are taking the initiative to get therapy, to do healing work on themselves and help other people heal. That is a beautiful thing. That's needed, because so many years healing and all of that has not been a big thing. It has gone under the radar. And I do think the pandemic 2020 really did help usher that energy in of really going within yourself on a grand scale, rather than just going about life in a hamster wheel, just spinning your wheels, going nowhere fast, not conscious of where you're going. Let's tap in. Divine Holy Spirit, speak to me through the collective of those who are meant to hear it. Divine Mother, thank you. Ancestors, benevolent ancestors, angels and guardians of the highest order that lovingly guide and assist those here on this planet, thank you. The Queen of Cups, the Hermit, the Four of Sacred Circles, which is the Four of Pentacles, and he's doing something with the pipe. Now, some of you could be natives, okay, indigenous. There's the Empress. Some of you guys are being called to do some type of spiritual work, okay. I am getting water. And with the earth energy, I'm not condoning anybody to smoke, okay? If that is your culture, like as far as like native culture, I know pipes are very sacred, and ceremonies can be a form of divination as well. Even cigars, like some cultures as well, like smoking cigars is also a form of connecting spiritually and a form of divination, I guess, if you will. So might be called to that. Something around smoke, pipe. Some of you guys might be introduced to someone that's like a spiritual teacher, but maybe not on the surface. This person doesn't look the part of a spiritual teacher, but they have a lot of divine wisdom within them. It could be a male, an older man for some of you, or someone that is just older than you. Getting Merlin vibes. Merlin was the kind of a teacher to King Arthur, or when they were a child before they became king. He was kind of like his it was like a student teacher type of thing, helping him to kind of tap into what he was destined and called to do and to be. So this could be someone that kind of sparks that for you, or is assistance helping you Doesn't have to be a long period or long standing. It could be something that maybe they just need to say to you to spark that in you. Um, the Queen of Cups energy does feel like if you're called to work with the element of water, something about speaking over your water or speaking into water could be like a major, could be like a, let's say like a cup or a bowl or something, and you take it out and you pour it into a body of water near you if you're led to do that. This is a form of transmutation or healing. And I don't know why, but I'm being guided to say this. If you're called to that in a form of something like that, doing some type of, healing work or something over the water, get from permission from spirit, from that that land that you're on. I don't know why I'm getting that. Like, get permission first, meaning, yeah, because I don't know. I'm getting like sacred energy, like sacred land or inhabitants of that land or something. It's like, do I have permission to um, do this work here? Because I'm seeing someone like in like their home or something, and they have an item that they could put water into, or they already have water in there and they might have blessed it, spoke over it or something, and pours it into the ocean or to a lake or something, pouring it back in as a form of purification or cleansing something in the waters. And I remember I was saying the ripple effect. It's not about the quantity of a thing, but it's the quality. It's the intent. It's the heart. So even if it was a drop of water, it has power in many waters. Does that make sense? I'll share this with y'all because I'm being guided to share it, y'all. So the last time I was at the beach, before I even went, I knew that I was supposed to do some type of spiritual work there. I always do anyway when I go to the ocean. It's always something that I need to do. When I went to the water, there was I guess an affirmation or a mantra that I was guided to write down in my phone like a week or so before I went to California, and I remembered it while I was in the water. Because at first I was like, okay, I'm here, but I don't feel like the need to do anything. So why were you telling me that I needed to do anything? And all of a sudden I heard to get up because I was singing to myself, and I started to cry because it was like a release and a relief of energy. I was letting go of things, and then I was guided to get up and walk into the water. And that's when I said my mantra: I give you my tears in exchange for peace, in exchange for joy. And I wash my hands, or wipe my face with the water, and I wash my hands back in the water. And after that, like the energy of the waves was like strong. And then I saw the two dolphins. Like, I always see dolphins when I go to the ocean, and I always pray for them because I want to see them. Like, that's like my thing. Like, I got to see my dolphins. And then they popped up, and I knew that that was God. So it's not about the quality, like the quantity. Like, you don't have to go to every ocean and every sea and pour this big amount of water over it and pray over it and purify it. It's just the intent. It's the quality of where your heart is and what you're doing that matters. So if that resonates with you, then take it and apply it. um the Empress, I feel like, is Mother Earth. Let's clarify. Six of Pentacles. Yeah, this is giving. This is giving back. And like I said, what you have to offer, whether you believe it or not, it holds significance, it holds weight when it's coming from a pure place. Your energy is a currency. So just imagine a heart-centered vibration and energy, how powerful that is within itself. Just the richness of that. So I'm looking at the Six of Pentacles as like you extending or sharing your energy. So like when you're in a healthy place within yourself, you have the energy to give others. You have the energy to, when you pour into yourself in a healthy way, when your heart is healthy, you're able to extend that and radiate that energy, and it will affect those that are meant to receive it in a positive way. It's not about how many people, it's just about the quality of energy. Like I said, yeah, sharing your energy, sharing your resources, healthy, because this is a thing too. Because darkness is also heavily attracted to light. So you have to be discerning. You know, that doesn't go anywhere. The discernment of your energy, your currency, it's not meant for everybody's hands, because some people don't know how to handle money, right? So you don't just give all of your currency away to everybody, because some people don't know how to manage things properly. They don't know how to steward energy properly. Some people exploit it. Some people just spend it before they get it, you know? So, no. Let's see. Remember, things or people of the darkness, they don't have souls. They don't have light in them. Their heart chakra is their light is completely turned off. So the concept of giving an energy away to something that doesn't have a soul, it doesn't hold the same space or capacity to honor, respect, and cherish things as such as people with light in them have. A person of light has the ability to actually generate real emotions, real feelings, because they have a soul. People that don't have a soul or energy of light, they don't know how to generate real deep emotions such as intimacy, such as empathy. They don't have it in them to give. They could generate lower vibrational energy such as lust, passion, maybe excitement, exhilaration. But when it comes to higher vibrational things such as kindness, giving, sharing, patience, compassion, understanding, empathy, they don't have that. So you giving your currency a value such as that, they're not going to value it because they don't know how to. They can't. They don't hold the space for that. They just eat that shit up. They're taking in something that they don't have. Like, let's say you're deficient of iron. You have to take an iron supplement, right? To get iron. So it's not something that they're able to generate on their own. They have to take it into themselves in order to have a kind of a sense of that light. But yet and still, they're not going to really appreciate it because it's not something that they're generating naturally on their own. Does that make sense? So be mindful of your energy and where you give it to. Yeah. Boundaries is everything. You got to have healthy boundaries. And the boundaries is, and I've just learned, like, you know, simple things sometimes need breaking down. Sometimes. This video that I came across that my sis sent me, the lady in the video was talking about the difference between boundaries and rules and threats. So when a person sets boundaries, a boundary is, if this person does X, Y, and Z to me, then this is how I'm going to, pretty much how I'm going to behave with my own energy. So if a person is yelling and, you know, they're raising their voice and disrespecting me, my boundary says I'm not going to talk to this person, and instead I'm going to separate myself, right? That's just an example. I'm going to separate my energy, versus where a rule is like, you're going to do this and do that. A threat is, if you don't do this, then this is what's going to happen. Versus a boundary is more so about your own behavior, your own self. You're only in control of you. So if someone is mistreating you, your behavior says this person's mistreating me, so I'm going to remove my energy from a situation because it's not healthy for me. Versus like, you're yelling at me, you're being disrespectful, if you don't stop, then I'm going to do this. You're commanding or telling someone what they should do and what they shouldn't do. So that's more of a rule than it is a boundary. So your boundaries are, right, or as an example, when it comes to your energy and its currency, I only give of my energy to those that really respect it, and those that don't, I choose to protect myself. I choose to remove myself, for example. Okay, the Seven of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups as well. So some of you guys want to know about, it could be support, could be helpers, could be soul tribe questions. And some of you, it is literally like love. And I do feel like for some of us, a lot of your healing, of course, is going to come from a partnership, and a lot of your purpose and work is going to be connected to your love life. And it could be like alongside your partner, or the inspiration of that connection is going to help you thrive and maybe encourage and inspire others due to that connection or that relationship. But there's something about there is a patience thing in this, because Spirit does want you to understand that there's nothing to do as far as what can I do to make it happen any faster, any sooner. It's more so about just being prepared and being available for it, rather than is it something I'm doing that's slowing it up, or is there something I need to do to speed it up? There's nothing you can do to slow it down or speed it up. The only thing is Spirit is saying is that you got to be present, you got to be prepared and ready to receive love. That's all you need to do. And that goes for any healthy connection, not just a romantic one. If it's friendships, if it's soul tribe, like, you don't have to force yourself. And this isn't to say like if you're led to like, socialize or go out, do those things, but there's nothing you can do to really force it to happen any sooner or slow it down. You just have to be present, be in the right space, right energy. Yeah, Spirit's saying small steps to improvement. So yeah, like every step counts. Your spiritual team wants to encourage you too. Like, the Knight of Cups could be a divine messenger, an angelic messenger that's sending you love, sending you encouragement as well. And again, reminding yourself of the true value, like remind yourself of your true value always. Your value is not dependent upon what you have, what you don't have, what you look like. That's not it. It's the internal things that really determine a person's character. It's your heart. It's not about perfectionism either. It's willingness. I did a reading earlier for someone, and I was telling her that our ancestors or divine source, God, will call us to certain things, not because more so we're special than other people or we're chosen because we're special, but because we're more willing maybe than some people to handle certain things. So like, a person might be like, why am I the one that's called to do the generational healing and clear the generational traumas and ancestral trauma? Why do I have to be the one to do it? Because you're one that's more willing. Your spirit, your soul is more willing. You're willing to do the work within yourself. You're willing to shift the dynamic for your entire bloodline. Your heart is more centered around bringing balance and bringing harmony to people around you or to humanity as a whole. So that is why you're called and why you're chosen. You're more a willing vessel to divine spirit and say, okay, I adhere to this. I can do this. I'll apply my gifts. I'll apply my talents. I'll apply my wisdom. I'll do the work. I'll let go of my selfishness, my ego, my past. I will strive to always do better and be better. versus some people, they don't, you know, it's just not a thing for them. It's not important to them. It doesn't matter to them. So you can't call on people that it doesn't matter to. And sometimes even just in our sleeping state, as I'll call it, where we might have just lived our life not really caring about a purpose, but there was always something inside of you that felt a, some type of pull, some type of curiosity to more in life, even in your times where you just, maybe you weren't such a good person, or maybe you were immature, you were selfish, you were you know what I mean, like you weren't fully aware of yourself. But there was always something, because if you look back in your life, there will be some type of moment that you felt some type of call to something greater, or you always wondered what was what. Whether it's wondering what is God, who is God, or always having a connection to source God, or trying to find yourself. You might have felt lost. And when it's time for you to hear the call, you'll know, because you'll start to go through those changes where you're like, I don't like this, I don't like that about myself, this needs to change, this is making me uncomfortable, I need to get away from these people, I need to do this, I need to do that. Or what's going on with my life? Why does all of a sudden things just seem strange? Things just don't make sense anymore, or things are just not fun anymore. This doesn't resonate with me anymore. What is going on? And then it kind of sparks that desire to change and to grow, and your eyes are open to things that you didn't see before. But as long as people are walking around just walking through life and not really giving a damn about the effects, the cause and effects of their energy, of their actions, or just going around spewing hate and walking around, I hate the world, F the world, blaming this person, shaming this person, they're not you're not helpful to society. You're wasting energy, you're wasting space. You're taking up space with that energy rather than transmuting it and really being of light. And some people are already on the side of darkness. Some people have sided with that. That's just where they are. So what you see now with all this chaos in the world is light versus dark. And in some cases, darkness taking out other darkness, because darkness is always going to turn on each other in the end anyway. Yeah, that's what you see in the world. Some people have already sided with evil to be that. Like me and my sis had this discussion earlier. People really have chosen a side. And she said something that really, really hit. She said that people that really don't know which side they belong on is their agents, because you're not choosing to be of light nor darkness, so therefore you're in the middle, you're playing two sides. You can't serve two masters. Y'all know that saying in the Bible. You can't serve two masters. You can't serve good and serve darkness at the same time. You can't play sides. That means you're a shapeshifter. Oh, I'll blend in with the good people, and then the next I'll get in with the dark people. Your energy's tainted. You're an enemy. You're an agent. There's no in between. Which army you're on. You can't get in the army and be like, y'all need me to do this? I'll help you. Okay. When it serves you, what y'all got going on over here? You can't do that. So I don't know about y'all, and the chariots at the bottom of the deck. I don't know about y'all, but I choose light. I choose love. I choose evolution and growth. I choose togetherness. I choose peace. I choose joy. I choose God's source. So I'm about to let this reading go, y'all. All right. So hopefully those of you that are meant to hear it will hear this message. I know it's not all about love and when he coming back and does he love me, how he feeling about me tonight and today and tomorrow and the next day we gonna get married. I know it's not that type of reading, so not a lot of people are gonna watch it. But for those of you that need it, I hope this was helpful to you. And you know, that you get something out of it. I know it's probably like, what the hell is this heifer talking about? Like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, I just felt guided to share just a little bit of what I'm feeling and the energies and what I'm witnessing and just putting two and two together and everything else in between that relates. So much love as always. Y'all be blessed. Be safe. Take care. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.